Hello, my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and welcome to Marketing 217, advertising offered by Harper College. This is going to be, we're starting week 2, so this is going to be an overview of a little bit from week 1 and week 2. Some of you have logged in or signed up for the class at the half end of the week, so I'm going to leave week 1 open right here. Week 1 is still open for you till maybe Monday midnight, and I'm going to turn it off. This is a 8-week course, so it's accelerated, 16 weeks combined into 8 weeks. So we got to get up and moving. So try to complete everything you have, by Sunday midnight and tomorrow by midnight. Make sure you go into my orientation. If you just logged in for the first time, you signed up. I have a few students that came in like on Thursday and Friday of last week of week 1, and for the rest of you, you still have till Sunday midnight. Remember, your forums are required forums in this course that you're taking me online and advertising offered by Harper College, utilizing a Blackboard course management system. I'm going to go over with a quick overview of what's expected for the week. I try to do this every week. So those of you who started last week, I'll be grading your forums. Part of the forums, remember, you have to respond to my first questions within the forums. Like I'll explain again. Last week it was generally just an introduction forum, and then something about an ad that you saw in midweek. Some of you did the introduction and then come into I was there Thursday and there was no activity. Friday, very activity. But even if I'm not involved in the forum, your requirements are to respond to mine posts by Tuesday, the first post, and then get the forum going and to see if I've changed or added onto the forum a little bit by Wednesday to keep it motivating. Because the forums replace the lectures as if you would be in a face-to-face classroom with me. So it's a good interaction. Also, since this is a virtual classroom online, and for those of you who are looking at this through Harper iTunes University, and you're looking at just to understanding, they take me to face-to-face class, I still communicate the same way, just a little bit differently within this video. So remember, the forums are required. You can't pass this class unless you do the forums. And this week's forum, so let's get into this week. So anyway, so you have that. The forums are due by Tuesdays. They end by Saturday noon. This week, since it's the first week and I got people coming in late for your introduction forum, I allowed it to spill over till Monday. So I haven't closed it yet, but Monday midnight I am going to close that forum, so you don't have to worry about that. The quizzes and homework is done by Sunday midnight. I'm always going to try to open up the following week's work either by Sunday noon or Sunday midnight. Depends how the class goes. You've got the syllabus, so you always know you got to do the reading and everything else. Even though if I don't have the main thing open, I usually already have it. You could get my concept maps here, and the week's activity will be open ahead of time. So let's see what we have for week 2. All right. Remember, those who've I have a few that signed in late. You go into week 1. Make sure you do the orientations about a half an hour. I have short lectures. Tells you everything you have to need. Now week 2 is going to be an interesting week here. We're going to be covering Chapter 4, Scope of Advertising from Local to Global. Remember, your overall project is due. Just move this over here. On let's see, advertising plan Appendix B. I show it back in your book, right? So you have that, real easy. Look at that. So those of you who are my head starters, if you're head on the work, you got to start working. You're going to be building the forum. We're going to be talking. You're going to have to identify a product, a business, or a service that you want to do an advertising campaign for, and you're going to take the role of a advertiser agency, an independent, or you could take the role of some of you already have some businesses or some ventures that you want to expand to, or you're doing part-time and you want to bring more clientele to you or more exposure, so you're going to do this advertising campaign. Will work well. If you take me for marketing, the integrated marketing campaign, you have advertising, you have personal selling and everything else involved in that. If you take me for introduction to business, you will be doing a feasibility study, and you'll talk you'll give me about 1 or 2 paragraphs on just advertising. Now your whole focus is pick a business, Pick a product, pick a service, something you want to advertise on. And it could be for some of you that, hey, I don't have anything, I'm a housewife, and I'm not doing a derogatory or anything else. I'm a house husband at home, or I'm a student. What do I want to sell? What do I want to do? How could I advertise it, and how I'm going to saturate? It could be from small to large. I'm really flexible on that. So let's go into week 2. So you'll be talking about that. So remember, going forward now, the chapters and the forums are going to be related to the subject matters as to help you build your advertising plan on page 632 from the book. Okay, and then you're going to be talking about marketing, consumer behavior. So part of your research, you have to have like 6 for lack of a better citations, and the citations are going to be easy. I'm going to open up the Word and I'll show you how to find the citations. Let's talk about the citations real quickly. So those are your word about citation while you're writing this. When you open up on a citation, when you go in reference, right here it says insert citation. You find APA, and it says I want to insert one. So if I go in here, add a new source. And then here, am I interviewing the person? Remember, I'm real easy. Is it art? Is it sound performance? Is it on the website? Is it from an article, journal? Click it in here if it's from a journal, and it has everything out here. Now, some of the citations, what you're doing for the advertising, you're not going to look what they consider academic citations or sources of information. You may go into the government site and to find out what's the population, what's the demographics, the U.S. Census, to find something about a general demographic. Or you may go into this, I'll have some links that you'll find in the book, has several links in there when you start reading into it. Where do I find my zip code? Tell me the age, the population, the male, how many females, how many married, how many kids, and all that information, the secondary data that you'll utilize in here. And you just put the information in, you hit OK, and self-explanatory. At this level here in this class here, you already should know how to do some citation, but utilize Word for you. Okay, so let's go back into my chapter 2. So that'll take care of going forward. So remember, and the next one is market segmentation. When you're looking at market segmentation, this is all what we're going to be covering this week. Everything else we're doing in the forum and the questions and the homework is working towards your paper and working for you to have a basic understanding of advertising. That's what this course is. That's what my job is. I can't learn you anything. You have to learn yourself. I could show you areas. I could discuss areas. But most of the discussions in the forums, after I get it going, I'll monitor it. I want you to help each other as you would do in a virtual network. Once you leave this course, you're going to make friends here. Some of you are already in the business. Some of you are looking into the business. It may be different businesses, but you still have to advertise. You may say, hey, this website works out well for my business. It may complement your business. That's how you build the network. And that's what the forums are here. So you're not just taking classes and taking a few tests. I'm going to teach you. The quizzes are that you take. The weekly quizzes are to make sure you understand the basic foundations. Now with the basic foundations, the knowledge, I want you to take that and actually be able to use it for to take something and be able to appropriately use it and say, hey, I could use this in Word. It's something that's a transferable skill that I could now apply at my job or as a consultant or opening up for something else, for a business, for someone that I'm working with. Okay, so chapter 2. So I'm going to leave this open. Remember, chapter 1, for those of you who are logged in, is just going to stay open till Monday midnight. That's turned off. I already have that set up. So what do we have for this week? I'm going to open up in a little bit. I think it's open up at noon. You have the forum. We're going to talk, remember, always worth 25 points. You have your quizzes, and read the chapter, do the quizzes, and that's worth 15 points each, multiple choice. You'll do well on it. Remember, you do the quiz, you just get the raw answer after the due date when it ends by Sunday midnight. I think it's and then it'll basically, when you click back on that on your score again, you'll see the correct which ones you got incorrect. as a feedback. So that's how you learn. Okay, you have your homework. You're going to have your homework you're going to submit. I'm going to show you. Got my lecture tubes on here. Got links in here. They're about an hour lecture. So those of you, you read the material, or you could read the material like you would, and then come to the classroom at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. You're bored, fall asleep, look at my lectures. My lectures are always utilizing the concept maps. So usually I'll have a folder for concept maps. I want you to start looking at concept maps. I'm not going to provide you the PowerPoints. If the author hasn't provided you the PowerPoints, because I think the author is going through the Connect, which I don't require, but if you have the Connect Passport, I do have a link here for you. Click on there. You could get everything else from the student's view on here. But I'm going to start using the concept maps. Remember, so I'll have these concept maps always located here prior to the chapter. So what I want you to do is open up the concept maps. Let's do number 5. We'll do right in the middle. You're going to open up. I have it set up as a PDF file. It has 2 sides. So you have the one, and you go down and you have the other side. Print it out, and then here's the purchase decision. So it always starts from this side, goes around this way. It's a little opposite, because it's to force you differently from going from linear way of taking information and learning and writing. I look at it a different way. The mind takes information from all over. I'm not teaching a mind map. I do have some lectures and short videos on conceptual maps for some of my management classes, but for this one right here, just you understand. So now you read it, and now when you're reading the book, follow along with this and add on. So wherever I have the additional information or pluses I may not have on there, if you don't understand about the government from the book, add on here. This is how you learn. And you go back and forth on your writing. Okay, so I'm going to close this off, and I have the concept map set up on here, and now we're back in here. So the concept maps are there. I did it this way to bring it to your attention. They're open. You have the Harper iTown Yunes. You have this lectures and other lectures in there. Click on it. You click on it. You open up. Remember, you have to have iTunes, Apple iTunes loaded on. It's a free software. You click on this link. It'll give you just for Harper. Only you have to be a Harper student. So when it says login, you're utilizing the same login that you had for that you logged into Blackboard. Same current password you have in Blackboard. Click on that, and you have access to a variety of instructors other than myself, different subject matters. If you got accounting, you're having trouble with this instructor, he or she doesn't have a short recording similar to this, click on that, and it's another way of learning. You'll find this one under marketing, and under marketing you'll be marketing 217, and you see Dr. George Mochocki. Click on there, and you'll have this. You have a bigger one, or right now for the next couple of weeks I'm doing the YouTube, but the YouTube, when you click on the YouTube, it's small. When you click on it, you click you press the button, and you go to my channel, for lack of better words, and now it's larger, and you can pick on the box there and make it larger. I'm not going in here to explain that. You're taking an online class, click and play. That's how you learn. That's how I learned. And I'm a lot older than a lot of people, and I'm pretty flexible on the internet. Not only that I have to teach online, but in the business world, you have to be current to have the technological ability and attributes that employers are looking. They don't care about the age anymore. My age just makes me experience everything else, but I got to know how to connect with people with different medias. Okay, so now, and the other thing what I want to do in this week, I want you to remember, you're going to do a PowerPoint presentation, a narrative. Since this is an advertising class, I want you to, everyone should open up a YouTube account. It's a free account. Open up YouTube account, because your last PowerPoint is going to be a YouTube. You're going to present it to me, and I'm going to since it's a smaller class, I can play around a little bit. I'm going to create teams, and this one will be a teams of 4 or 8. Maybe this one will do everyone will be as a team of 8, and then you'll post your different YouTubes in there so other people could look at it as you would do using the social media. Like I'm presenting to you here in this classroom, you'll be presenting, "Hi, my name is George. I'm selling George's hot dogs, and here's a hot dog." I'm just making this up. I'm an advertising. You're going to come up with an advertising campaign with you in it, or if you don't want it, you just have the voice and do the PowerPoint, but it'll be through a YouTube presentation. You have to have, this would be kind of good when you're going to go for a job in advertising, and he says, "Are you comfortable with the internet? Are you comfortable with the web?" I'm not doing, most of you, since I already have what do you call it, a Facebook account, and you probably have more stuff on there than you have anything else. This YouTube, everything else, you could create. You could create it through in here. You post it in here. I'll talk you how to post it. Hopefully it'll work well, and then everyone could see it. You just put it in the classroom. You'll give everyone the link. If we watch the link, just like you're doing this one, you could do the link private for individuals that you'll assign the emails or to certain individuals with a passcode, or you could have it open to everyone else after the class. Just go back into YouTube, turn it off, delete it. It's off the web. Whatever's off the web. All right, so enjoy. And YouTube allows you to do. Most of you have computers or your smartphones or your laptops. They'll always have the web camera in there. Okay, so now the form. What are you going to do? So you got the quizzes, and I explained the quizzes. You have a homework assignment. Now look at the homework assignment. It's going to be tied into the form. I'm not one into busy work. I want you to take something and come out with an intangible idea and make it tangible and intangible at the same time. That's what advertising is. So here's the homework summary. You're going to have your first homework for 15 points, and you're going to submit it in here. I'll go through in here. You're going to go in here. Whenever you see a link like this, I first have a folder going into links. So I don't have, because a lot of students will come in and they'll see whatever they see in the screen. You got a little smart screen and see, I didn't know there was more homework, Dr. George. There's a lot of homework in there, Dr. George. You got to scroll down to make sure you covered it. So I create folders. You click on the folders, and there's stuff inside that folder, just like you would do it electronically. Okay, so you're going to click on here. So whenever you see this, it means it's a homework assignment. Come up now. Here's the homework assignment. You're going to come up in here. I'm just going to close this off here. You're going to come up so you can see it. You're going to come up with your market segment that you think would be fun to work with. Remember, it ties up with the laboratory. They talked about the dog biscuits or something, and then you read it, and they showed you how they did an advertising campaign and trying to find a market segment. Building from Chapter 6 is market segmentation. So use that as an example. But I want you to think, remember, in the form, you're going to come up with your own product, or an existing product, or existing business, or something that you're going to advertise. That's going to be your major paper. And you're going to take the lead as an independent advertising agency, if you don't have, right? Or if you're a small business, because some of you in the forums are already doing some kind of small business on the side. Some of you are doing it full-time, or working, or want to do it full-time. So utilize this class and utilize this the forums as your network, as your virtual network to communicate with, but also to build onto your final project. Remember, this is just going to be like a feasibility, a rough draft. So, but for some of you, a rough draft may be good enough for the final draft. Okay, so utilize that. So you're going to come up with that idea, and could your product or service or business for your final project. Find products, 5 products. Right now it's a form. You're just starting up. Remember, it's a summer class, so 16 weeks, or summer or fall class, or late 8-week class. When I say summer class, I mean 8-week class condensed into 16 weeks condensed into 8 weeks. So I'm trying to get you going. A lot of times we'd have a little more work to do. I got to get you moving. So I'm using this homework. So everything you're doing is building. So you're getting a lot of points for the same activity for the week going forward. You read it, and you're going to apply everything else. So read the chapter, take the quiz, boom. Read the chapter, take the quiz, boom. Remember, I adjusted it for my online classes. Instead of doing one quiz with 3 chapters, you read it, and it gives you more flexibility. Some people like to do 1 chapter at a time but everything you're doing, think about it, your final project. So now I'm forcing you for your final project. Okay, and then when I talk about IMC, this is an advertising class. I don't like use acronyms, but basically it's integrated marketing and communication. Advertising is the communication mouthpiece arm of the marketing integrated campaign. So assume what the campaign is going to be. Is it going to be awareness for your product? Is it going to be new in development? Those of you who already have a business or a product, what do you want? Do you want another target market? Don't tell me everyone. You got to start off someplace and test it, and then you start adjusting. That's what you've been reading from all the chapters coming up to here, 6. You have to understand the consumer behavior. You have to understand every consumer. What's going to be the largest consumer base coming out? Are they going to be baby boomers, millennials? Are they going to, and I always pronounce that English is a second language, or is it going to be Generation X, Generation Y, or Generation Z? Supposed to be this new generation that's forming now. The teenagers coming forward, they're completely different. They're tech knowledgeable more than the X and Y millennials. Okay, so this is everything else you're looking at. So you have to tell me who your customer base are. I only have so much money. Who I'm going to saturate? I want them all eventually. But I want to get the biggest bang for my advertising dollar, my advertising campaign, my frequency, who I'm going to target, and then I start targeting other ones and adjusting my ad to that market that I'm looking. That's what you're learning. That is advertising. This is the baseline. Right now, you're just learning the baseline. Just like when you're driving, you drive with the two hands. After a while, you can, I got one hand, I'm cool, go on the other hand. That's different. Remember, you get more relaxed. Right now, you're just learning. When I play golf or any sports, I start off, basically, here's the fundamentals. That's what you're doing. I'm giving you that line in the sand. You're starting going forward. So that's your homework. Now, when you're going to submit the homework, so you're going to click on this. Now, I can't really submit it, so it tells you everything else in here. You have two things. The comment section here is when you look at your grade, after you submit it, you're going to see a green asterisk. I'm an instructor. When you get the green asterisk, that means I haven't graded it yet. It was submitted. So when you go in here, you write your submission here. You could write it in a Word or an RTF file and paste it in here, or write it in here. Write it in here, not in the comments. The comments is going to be when you click on your grade. After I grade it, it's what you can say. When you write in here, you submit it here, or you could browse my computer just like you do in an email and find a file and just attach it. Okay, attach this file here, and you'll see it's already attached. It's attached someplace in here. Anyway, I'm an instructor, but it'll be attached in here, and you have to always submit yes, because your papers, anything else you do, same thing. The final paper goes through a submitted or audit. Submitted here is to check for plagiarism, to make sure that you cited the right sites. This is a college level, and you have to submit. That's all the papers come through here, and I'm to see what percentage is your work and what percentage is somebody else. Right now at this level, a higher percentage is going to be somebody else's work, but I don't want to see other students' work. And I always will have this open so you could also see what the reports are. This is to prepare you when you're going for a four-year university, or when you have to write your own paper and you make sure you're not plagiarized. I'm just looking at to make sure you cite the right individuals at this level. Okay, coming in here. Okay, so you have that. You click on that, and you should have everything else on here. And it's worth 15 points. So remember, you write the submission in here, and you could let's see, how do I get out of here? Okay, I'll go cancel because I don't want to be in here. Okay, so remember, you click on here. You will basically write the submission here or attach the file, agree on this, and in here you can say, Dr. George, here, you can spell check was good. Here is my homework assignment. Okay? Terrible on my spelling. So I go on here, homework, go on here, assignment. Thank goodness for technology. Okay, now listen, and then you just hit submit, and you get the green asterisk, and when I grade it, you could go back in there and I'll put information. When you submit the homework assignment, right now I was only asking you one question. Going forward, you may have one or two questions that I ask you. Don't write the question out. I already know what the question is. See, I'll have it in here. I always know what I asked you. Only write number one, here's the response. Number two, here's my response, okay? Because if you rewrite the question, when it goes through this, I agree to check to audit it now or whatever it is, or check it now. I forgot the program they're using here through Harper, through Blackboard, is what you're going to do when you're going to click on that, it will see the same thing from another student that'll look like you copied something. You don't need that. Remember, you don't need that when you don't want your instructor to look at that, say that 80% of your work has been somebody else's work. It's okay if you you don't want to see other students' work. That's just to make sure that you use your own creativity, your own writing objective. The reason you're taking an online class, maybe it works for your time frame. It gives you a lot of flexibility, but it also helps you your writing and your written comprehensive, because this is how you communicate. Okay, so you're all set on this, and you submit it, and then you have your 15 points, and you should be okay. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go back to my week one, so we have that. Let's go into our last thing. Now you have your form. Now last week's form is still open. I'm very gracious with the forms. I expect you to respond to my form by Tuesday midnight to my questions. I usually will say, hey, good thing, good idea. The whole reason the form is for you to communicate with the rest of the team. So if you didn't get any kind of response, you respond to somebody else. This week you're going to come up with a new business. You're not coming up with a new business. You're going to be advertising for a new business. You're just doing one aspect back. So if I'm going to have a new hot dog stand, how am I going to get my name out there? Yeah, I'm not going through all that process. You just come up with an advertising campaign, a communication. So what's the new business, a new product, a new service, or something that you're going to do an advertising campaign. Is it going to be awareness? Is it going to be a promotional? How I'm going to get them to come to my site? How I'm going to get them to buy my product? Whatever. This is what you're going to be working on. Remember, look at the last exhibit, advertising plan outline, page 632. Who's your customers? I do not want to see all. Who's going to be your customer niche? You're going to do some research. How may you plan to expose and how many people will buy? You're just giving an estimate. You're giving me a distance. You're going to say, out of the market, there's 5,000 people, or I want 2%, I want 0.0% of the market, whatever. This is just to give you a general idea, target what to work forward, and then you'll build up on this here. So you're going to write in the subject area when you respond to this forum, and reply to others. I'm expecting about nine other replies, depends on the size. I think right now, reply to about 2 or 3 other individuals, and I don't want all the replies in one day. It's just like you do your Twitter or your Facebook, go back and forth. Hey, that's a good idea, but give them more than a good idea. Look at it some kind. How do you become an effective source of information where other people want to come to your website and ask you for advice? That's how you build your network. Indirectly, you want to come up, that's a good idea about your hot dog stand, but would you consider Polish sausage with your hot dog? Are you going to have your buns Vienna? Are they going to be fried buns? Are they going to be natural? Or are they going to be in a pita bun? I'm just making this up. That's the kind of comments you give back. A good idea. Did you think about this customer niche? And remember, when you're doing all this, or just some information you want, cut and paste it into a folder that you do. Let's say if I'm a student, George Mochocki's research project, and put it in there. And then you're just building up on you. You're building up with the different headers you have. Company background, advertising plan. When you're looking at what you have to have on there, I think there's like seven headers in there. Just give a basic information. You're just giving a rough outline now, so you're thinking about what you need to do. And I'll have a whole concept map on the different items in here, so you can print up and you know which areas are look at, so you can have it all in your at one sheet, and you can just highlight as you're going along, because the chapters will be tied in to your advertising plan that you're going forward, your forms, everything else. So so you click on the forms, and in the subject area, I'll be advertising for Mochocki's marshmallows. I'm just thinking that because my son's doing something with marshmallows, the Smurfs, because we'll be having bonfire. So all right, so that's what I'll be advertising, or I'm doing with the dogs, or I'm doing with the cats, or someone's doing with some artwork that they're doing, or some kind of activity that you want to sell. And you may have a garage sale or a clearance sale at the store, where you're working at. If you're doing something that's, hey, could I come up with an advertising slogan or something else? That's what you're doing here, telling me what you're doing. What they hire an independent, you're a worker there, or you're a business owner, and you want to get rid of some of your goods. You have to advertise who's your customers, how much it's going to cost you, where you're going to advertise. It's going to be a print, it's going to be a jingle, it's going to be, it's got to be something to get their attention, since we're bombarded by so much. Okay, so we're finished with that, and I think I have everything else you need. Remember, you've got my YouTube links. You can find my information there. You can find everything else over here in Blackboard. You have my PowerPoints. You have Harper iTunes. Utilize that. That's a nice tool. You don't have to go into YouTube. Just find me. Click on there where it has looks like a little TV. Click on that. Wait a few minutes. If you got iTunes in there, you on there, or you could download it and watch it on your smartphone. Just have different media, and you have a general idea, just like you'll be in the classroom, but you never left your office. And this is similar what happens in businesses. What you're doing online. Remember, McGraw-Hill or Pearson, they do a lot of interaction with businesses on training videos at individuals' workstations. So you're doing everything else in here, and you're getting credit hours, and you're meeting a lot of other individuals. Eventually you'll have your pictures, everything else there in Blackboard. They're just working on some kind of legal issues. At another school I teach, they already have that flexibility. It's kind of nice to see what the person looks like when I'm communicating with him or her, even within a forum, because like it or not, we're visual individuals. I could see, he's a little more mature, he's a lot younger. I'm not just stereotyping, but it's a way I could communicate. Remember, advertising, I have to understand my customer. I have to see him or her, not in my eyes, and what they think, how they see my product. Okay, so that takes care of it. So we're done with, let me just open this up here. We're done with, we're on week 2. Make sure you finish it. Your forms, Tuesday by midnight is your first form, or you lose 5 points, and you don't want to lose 5 points. Do your quizzes. You have quizzes all the way to Sunday midnight, and your homework assignment, I think, is Saturday. I want to say Sunday, but try to do it by Saturday. You get it all done, but so you can start working and reading for your next week. All right, my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and welcome to week 2. Covering chapter 4, 5, and 6. You have here, look, you got 45 points, 25 points, 15 points. You have a lot of points in here. That's, let's see, 10, that's 40. You have about 85 points and maybe some extra points. I can always throw something in there. And welcome to this class. And remember, week 1, those of you who started week 1, catch up. Spend your time because we're open 24/7. There's no excuse. Make your work. If your computer's not working at home, at work, go to the library, go to Harper Labs, sit in there, put on your headphones, listen to me, do your homework, and you should be done. You should be starting in week 2 right now. It will be open, and I'll see you in the forums. Again, do not always wait for me to respond to the forums. You help each other out just like you would be in LinkedIn. You have some information and you want to become a resource and you want to help other individuals. Be always professional. Use the person's first names and say, all right, just like you would be to a client or to your boss or to your fellow co-workers. We all have different opinions. If I see anything that's disrespectful, remember, it could be, I'm not saying distasteful. Sometimes it's distasteful advertising. Try to be respectful. It's at college level. I will pull the ad or pull that conversation, give you a warning. If I see it again, I'll lock you out of the forums and out of Blackboard, and you'll be talking to the Provost Marshal how you could improve on your communication skills, which is part of your emotional intelligence at Harper College. Again, my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and enjoy listening and talking to you within the forums. You're a great class, and we'll see you in a little bit. Bye.